58. Plax going to cold weather against the Packers in 2008. Listen, there's two ways to go with this. He's so good, and he gets open. He's crafty, so he'll get his opportunities. But the Rams' defense was terrible, and their secondary was awful. Marcus?
Yeah,
awful.
Yeah.
And here's the other way to look at it. Vrabel comes from the Belichick school. Let's take away the one thing that they like the best. And so as a result, watch Kupp have the big game. Watch the tight end have some chances because he's not going to let him beat him. So I can see that happening where maybe he's not as much a focal point because he's going to make Donald go somewhere else. So I would say no to that. I would say maybe somebody else for those receivers.
I agree with you. I'm going to the other side of the ball, though, Mad Dog. It's Leonard Williams for me.
Ooh, the big cat.
Listen, I watched the Chiefs win Super Bowls. I watched Pat Mahomes get Super Bowl MVPs. I watched the offense and Andy Reid get praise. If Chris Jones wasn't on the field, they wouldn't have won them. And I think when you get to these type of games, especially the premium that's put on quarterback, interior defensive linemen to me are the most important players in critical games because they can create havoc without a team running away from them. If you got a Micah Parsons and he on the left side, just run to the right. If you got a good player like Will Anderson, that's what made Houston so tough. You had Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson.
Both sides.
On both sides. I look at this game from the prism of what does Drake May do well. Drake May scrambles in the center of the pocket as well as anybody. Gets up in the center of the pocket, takes off, uses his legs. The pocket pressure. Milton Williams on the other side. If you ask me who the most important player is for New England, it would be Milton Williams. So Leonard Williams, to me, can dominate a football game. And with the issues that I've seen with the New England Patriots offensive line, he is going to hunt matchups. And they are going to have to figure out a way to take care of him and try to contain him. I watch Chris Jones be the reason in critical situations that the Chiefs won Super Bowls. A tip pass, a pressure, a fumble. I watch Aaron Donald pressure Joe Burrow. If not, Jamar Chase wide open on the sideline running, and the Cincinnati Bengals may be Super Bowl champions. I'm going to the interior with Leonard Williams. I think he's that type of player. Now, you got to have that juice. You got to be able to do it. But I'm going Leonard Williams because I think in order for you to be able to stop New England, you have to take care of Drake May's legs, and that'll be something that he can do as an athletic, big physical force in the center of the line of scrimmage.
My X factor is going to be Kenneth Walker because I think if you can run the football, New England has no shot whatsoever at beating you. If you're Seattle and you can run the football. No. By the way, let's take a second here to while we applaud Sam Darnold and the job that he has done, can we also point to how lucky he is? Over the last 2 years, he's won 28 games, 28-6, okay? And his wide receivers were Justin Jefferson and Jaxon Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan, you're a blessed individual. You understand? I mean, divine intervention is showering down upon you. When those are the last two receivers that you've had as your primary targets. Okay?
We're about to fight.
You understand what I'm saying?
Me and you about to fight.
I'm just saying, you got to give credit where credit's due. He's been great. He's been great, and he deserves all the credit in the world. But those are some bad brothers that he had available to him. That's all I'm saying. And so now you look at Kenneth Walker. I'm thinking about him because Charbonnet goes down, and we looked at it and we said, damn, that's a huge loss for them. And we forgot that you got a running back that's a 1,000-yard rusher that's averaging 4.6 yards a carry. Last two playoff games, 19 carries each game. Had over 100 yards against the San Francisco 49ers, only 62 against the Los Angeles Rams. But nevertheless, I'm just saying, if you can run the football, if you can open up your play action game with the receivers that you have, with an experienced guy like Kupp, okay, with Rashid Shaheed, with what you got in Jigba, I'm just looking at it and I'm saying, you can run the football. You got any kind of running game whatsoever. I don't see how New England can win this game.
I always love the Super Bowl because I think it really maximizes the importance of coaching. It's almost like week one, you have all offseason to prepare for your week one opponent. Like you're going to be in the lab looking at that team. What is Vrabel doing the last week? What is he doing this week? What is Mike McDonald doing? It's all this X's and O's. And I remember covering the Patriots all those years. They had this guy, Ernie Adams. Do you guys know that name, Ernie Adams? He basically was Belichick's
right-hand man.
Yeah. Right-hand man. You never saw him on camera. You never saw him on film. He'd sit in a lab in the basement, and he'd watch every play, and he would chart it out. And then you'd give it to Belichick, and he would have an entirely new game plan for the Super Bowl. Would completely have a different thing that you haven't seen on tape because he had worked that hard. Vrabel has that. There's a guy named Stretch who's on staff for them, who's their secret weapon. It's his right-hand man, director of administration. Doesn't do media. He brought him with him from Tennessee. He was with the Rams for a year. I want to see that first quarter. What did you cook up in the lab the last 2 weeks? Because if Sam Darnold has thrown all these great games and thrown for 300 yards and all this, he's also had a couple 3-interception games and a couple 4-interception games. And we have seen Sam Darnold, the other side of Sam Darnold. Can Vrabel and that defense find it? I love the first quarter of a Super Bowl. The bright lights, everything. Who has been in the lab the most?
So who's your X factor? Would you say JSN is going to be the X factor?
No, the coaching staffs.
Oh,
guys like Stretch and guys like that. And obviously we talk about Zach Core all the time. This defense, okay, Darnold's everyone's favorite story and the MVP and all this. Let's see what the Patriots defense has in store.
One more thing, too. Kenneth Walker, back to him. Out of the backfield, 4 receptions, 49 yards in the NFC Championship game. Yeah. He can pass catch for you, too.
Yeah. Okay, we're counting down to Super Bowl 60. Obviously, we'll be playing these X Factor games the whole time. I like the behind-the-scenes peel the curtain back, though, of the right-hand man's the coaching staff. I wasn't expecting you're the X Factor here, Peter Schrager.
Let's go.
Coming up on First Take, we got lots to discuss. Lamar Jackson has a new head coach. Joe Burrow still has 2 exceptional receivers. Which superstar quarterback is in a better position now heading into next season? Of course, we have disagreements.
Stafford in that game.
Yep.
But Drake May, to me, presents the biggest problem because of the athleticism and the legs. I fear that more, especially with an aggressive defense like Seattle. If he finds those pockets on those third down, you guys are rushing, you feeling good, and he finds a little window and gets out and extends a drive. And New England has lived on the edge.
Right.
They have not dominated a game they played in. Drake May has been the reason for these playoff games going the way that they've gone. So right now, I would be more fearful of Drake May, the individual, than I would be of Sam Darnold.
I'm with Swag on this. My answer to this question was Drake May. First and second downs this year, 46 carries, 330 yards, 16 first downs. That's something that they utilize. You scrambling on first and second down. Those are orchestrated run plays. You want your quarterback to be a threat, to keep the secondary honest, because you got to keep him. Because he can run with the football. Then I'm looking at these 2 playoff games. These 2 playoff games that they had thus far this year. Right, 125 yards on 9 carries and 6 first downs. That's what I'm thinking about, because I'm looking at Booty, I'm looking at Diggs, and I'm saying, all right, you're going up against the Seattle defense, who, by the way, have been missing tackles. Let's make sure they've improved about that in the postseason. Missed a lot of tackles in the regular season. So, obviously, if you could get into their secondary yards after the catch, it's something that they've been vulnerable to throughout this regular season and to a lesser degree in the postseason. But when you couple all of that with the fact that you got an opposing quarterback that can run with the football, that Josh McDaniel will call running plays for, look at how they secured the AFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? Look at how they pulled that off when you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you because the damn blizzard was coming down.
In the second half, but the first half, it's not like, again, it's not like he's been lights out.
No, I'm not saying
that. This playoff run, he hasn't been like, oh, man.
I'm just talking about the threat, because both of them are top 5 defense. I mean, Seattle's number 1, but New England's a top 5 defense. And so when you look at Sam Darnold, even though he showed up in